This is a complete beginner-friendly tutorial of how you can get started off in crypto today. I'm going to show you how to buy crypto. I'm going to go through what is crypto, and I'm going to do it all in basic terminology. Now you're probably wondering, who is Tyrell? Who is this guy, and why should I even trust him? Well, my name's Tyrell, and over the past 5 years, I've gone from a dead broke uni student at Leeds Beckett University to making a little bit of money online from different side hustles and business ventures, and I invested all of the profits from that into crypto. Since then, I've been able to travel around the world, live the life that I want to, and no, I'm not a guru, right? I'm not here to sell you a course. As you can see from my YouTube channel or my social media, it's nothing crazy. I'm more of a person where I do make real businesses and I do make real investments, and I want to share that with you in this video. Crypto is something that's changed my life completely, and when I got started, there wasn't that many simple videos, which just explains it without anything complicated, right? So I want to share that with you today, and I hope you enjoy it. So what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin allows you to send money peer to peer, and that just means person to person. For example, if I want to send money from England to France, right, and I've got an English bank account, PayPal, or maybe I'd have to wire the money internationally. Usually there'd be loads of fees associated with that. Sometimes even the bank will tell you that you cannot spend your money. Imagine working all of that time, putting all that effort in to make money, and the bank tells you, hey, no, you can't spend that. Well, with Bitcoin, you don't have that problem. You see, it is sent near enough instantly. It tracks the transaction perfectly and transparently on the blockchain, and it will record on a ledger, which is like just writing down notes to make sure that, you know, this person has spent money and this person has received it. And it will do all of that completely automatically. You don't have to ring up a third party and make sure that the transaction's gone through, nothing. The money is received near enough instantly, which is why so many people have started to use Bitcoin, and you have seen such an explosive rise in the value of Bitcoin itself. Now, one of the things that also makes Bitcoin so interesting is it has a limited supply of 21 million Bitcoin, which is different to any other asset class. You might have heard that oil is running out. You might have heard that gold is scarce. But that's a lie, right? There is always more oil. In fact, the earth naturally produces oil, and scientifically, statistically, through research, we have only discovered a minute percentage of oil. Same thing for gold. We have been mining gold on this earth for eternity. In fact, there is even historic stories, which I cannot say are true or not, but there are even stories that the reason why humans inhabit this planet is the first reason we was here is to mine gold. So throughout history, gold, oil, these things have always been there, and they will always be inflationary. But Bitcoin is fixed at 21 million. So if you lose your Bitcoin, it's gone. It's not coming back. But the beauty of it is that it is fixed, and it is really the most scarce asset on the planet. And that's why you have seen, since the inception of Bitcoin to now, it has risen and outperformed every other asset class out there. You might have been brought up to want to buy a property. You might have been brought up to want to invest in stocks or bonds, but Bitcoin has outperformed all of them. Now, the disadvantages of Bitcoin is pretty simple. Because it's decentralized, there's nobody who is responsible and that can help you out if you mess up. If you send money to the wrong wallet address, it's gone. If you lose your private keys, which I'll get into soon, they're gone. So you have to remember to be completely responsible for your investments. Yes, you have the ability to send millions of dollars near enough instantly, but yes, you also have the ability to lose it if you mess up. So what I recommend doing is, at any transaction that you do, I recommend sending a small transaction first and then send the rest after when it goes through. Now, I will take you through how to set up your crypto wallets. I'm also going to take you through crypto exchanges, all of that later on in the video. Now, one interesting story from myself, which is one of the reasons why I got into crypto, especially being a business owner, was at the time I was running different e-commerce websites, and I was doing drop shipping, I'm doing, social media marketing, all of this stuff. And I was having to deal with PayPal, Stripe, with my own bank accounts. And the issue that I always kept falling into was payment blocks, chargebacks, struggling to even send the money I earn. In fact, sometimes, especially being a young business owner, I couldn't even, rent an apartment. I would have to pay 6 or 12 months up front. And to me, it just wouldn't sit with me right? For example, PayPal would hold, over 50 grand of my money for 28 days on a block. Or I would receive the money and I would want to transfer it to somebody else, and my bank would reject the transaction, ring me up and be like, oh, you sure you want to send the transaction XYZ? And as a business owner, when you've got other things going on, it's not something which you even expect. And now looking at today's day and age with Bitcoin and crypto, I understand why multi-millionaires and billionaires are investing into crypto hands over fist, because if you're struggling to send 50 or 100 grand, imagine how hard it must be to send millions or even billions of dollars. It's very, very challenging. Now, some of the other most notable cryptocurrencies out there are Bitcoin, obviously, Ethereum, USDT, and XRP. Now, they all have different utilities, right? You heard me mention Bitcoin, peer-to-peer. I want to send money from here and I want to send it to there. But then you have Ethereum. Ethereum is kind of like the internet, right? Bitcoin came out and you've seen that Bitcoin, you could send money here and there. But what Ethereum allowed you to do is innovate, is build on top of Ethereum. It allowed you to make different crypto tokens on top of the Ethereum network and trade those other tokens as well. So when that first came out, it was crazy. It was like the birth of the internet. There was the overvalued companies, there was the startups, there was obviously the huge collapses of those tokens, but it reminded me just like the birth of the internet, right? Which obviously I'm a young buck, right? That was before my time. So, Ethereum, she was kind of like my internet boom. Now after Ethereum, you have, your USDT. That is pegged to the dollar. So that is like your crypto dollars. Anytime you want to take profit, you can either take profit into Ethereum, take profit even into Bitcoin. Well, if you want it to stay stable, you can take profit into USDT. Now, throughout history, this has been the most stable currency there is, and it's pegged to the dollar. In fact, Tether is one of the biggest companies out there. They actually own other exchanges out there as well, and they are just like the treasury of the crypto space, right? Then you have XRP. Now XRP is, a crazy thing, especially if you've been in crypto before. That XRP is like chalk and cheese. You either like XRP or you don't, or you're like part of the XRP army. But all you have to know is that XRP is owned by a company called Ripple, or they're associated with a company called Ripple, and this is a banking company. They allow banks to send money with crypto, so they give the banks access to the blockchain, right? So just like that, right? Those are some of the main tokens that you can invest into. Now, how do you even get access to these? Like, how do you swap your pounds or dollars into crypto? Well, the way you do it is very simple. All you need to do is access a crypto exchange. Now, this is where you're going to be able to change your money into crypto. Currently, different countries have different regulations for how you can spend your money into crypto. The UK has currently lost most of their exchanges because of new advertising laws. America is pretty similar. China keeps on banning and unbanning crypto. So these exchanges are constantly changing. Now, I recommend you sign up to pretty much every single crypto exchange out there. If you're watching this and you've got one crypto exchange, don't be shy just to sign up to another, because you never know when one can drop off, and you don't want to miss out on opportunities because one exchange decided that it wanted to, stop allowing you to invest into crypto, while the other exchange, you didn't even know about it because you didn't take action and sign up to it. So I personally have got literally everyone. Now, for the UK, the exchanges that are currently active is BitGet and Mexi, some of the main exchanges out there. For the rest of the world that I know of, I recommend using Binance, KuCoin, or Coinbase. Now, these exchanges are some of the highest volume trading exchanges out there. Millions and millions of dollars of money is traded every single day on these exchanges alone. So they're pretty robust, especially your Coinbase and Binance, like they're super robust, okay? Now, all you need to do is check the links in the description and you can find access to all of those exchanges. Now, the reason why I would go for those links and I would not just Google it is because there is something called phasing scams. Now, billions of dollars a year is lost to phasing scams from people Googling the website, for example, Binance, clicking a random link and then going to that Google link, signing in and losing all their money. The reason is because the links on Google sometimes can be fake Binance, fake KuCoins, Coinbase links of the sort. Even if you have two-factor authentication, the links can sometimes be scams. So what I have done is I've put down the official links below. Some of them are affiliate links, but you can trust and access those links securely. In the future, what I recommend doing after you've signed up is simply favorite those links and bookmark them, and always access the same bookmark. Alternatively, you can go to a website called CoinMarketCap, which I recommend saving that one for later because we're going to use that a lot. But you can use CoinMarketCap to find the tokens that you want. Let's say we want to find Ethereum. Click on markets and then filter by all the different crypto exchange markets you can actually buy Ethereum on at the moment. Now, exchanging your money from fiat, which is US dollars or pounds, whatever, into crypto on a crypto exchange, it's really easy. All you have to do is sign up to any of the recommended crypto exchanges below, put in your email, register with your password, and then once you're in, don't get overwhelmed. This is similar to a stock exchange, right? You're going to see charts all over the place. You're going to see things moving. Don't worry, right? This is new. It's something which is going to take time, but over time, it will become more familiar to you. To change your money, all you have to do, for this sake, we'll use Bybit as an example, is go down to deposit your local currency, and once that is deposited, you can go ahead and trade that. Now to trade that, you can simply type in, for example, let's say Ethereum, and you can sell your pounds for Ethereum. Now, my friend, you are a crypto. You are now a fellow degen. From here, the world is your oyster. You now have an understanding of how you can transfer your pounds, US dollars, anything into magic digital internet money. You also know about what is crypto, and you have a base understanding of some of the big crypto coins out there. But where the hell do you find these 100x's, 50x's, all these coins that these YouTube guys talk about? Well, my friend, most of those coins are on decentralized exchanges. Now, remember that website we spoke about earlier, coinmarketcap.com? Well, you can access all of these coins by going through coinmarketcap.com, and you can also see whether they are on exchanges or whether they are on decentralized exchanges, which I'm going to explain to you shortly. Now, let's say we pick one of my favorite coins, Myria Games. We simply type in CoinMarketCap, Myria, we go down, click the icon, then we can see the price of Myria. We can also see its tag, and then we can click on markets. Now, clicking on markets, we'll see that Myria is available on KuCoin, but it's also available on a decentralized exchange called Uniswap. And you'll see in small brackets, it will say Ethereum. So this means that you can go and you can buy Myria Games on KuCoin simply by sign up to one of the exchanges below, sign into KuCoin, swapping your pounds to USDT or Ethereum, and then swapping that into Myria. Now, you could alternatively use a decentralized exchange. Now, what is a decentralized exchange? Why do people use it? And why is it so cool? Well, a decentralized exchange gives you that Bitcoin effect, right? It gives you that effect of decentralization. The reason is because let's say you use a exchange like KuCoin. Even though this is great, it is still a centralized exchange. Sometimes no different to PayPal. There has been times where depositing into exchanges can go down. If the market's too volatile, you can't sometimes deposit into any exchange. Sometimes you can't even get your money off. So even though these exchanges are great for depositing and trading, and they are pretty much secure, when it comes to access, and especially accessing new tokens, they might not be on a crypto exchange. Now, you might have remembered earlier when I mentioned about Ethereum being a startup, kind of like the website boom, where people would make websites and they would get crazy valuations, and there would be a boom, but out of that boom, you would see Amazon, you would see Googles, you would see Teslas and SpaceX's of the world, right? Well, what makes crypto so beautiful is on decentralized exchanges, you can get access to these earlier tokens, these startups, as just a normal person. Whereas back in the day, even in the website boom, As a normal person, you're not a private equity investor. You're not a accredited super investor. So you wouldn't have access to these normal investments. Whereas in the crypto space, with it being decentralized, you would get access to them, right? Tokens like Elrond, which now is doing multiples of X's, right? I think, don't quote me on this, is more than a 10 or 20x from private sale price. Tokens like Matic, used to be called Polygon, is up like 50x or more from initial investment. Even Ethereum launched at a private sale of less than $1, and now it's at like $2,000. So whether you buy in at private sale, which is like the earlier rounds of these tokens, or whether you buy in on market on Uniswap, for example, you do have opportunity to get in some of these companies while they are so early. And that is why hundreds of thousands of people love decentralized exchanges. Now, to get your money from a centralized exchange like KuCoin, Binance, Bybit, BitGet, for example, onto a decentralized exchange is actually fairly simple. The same way that you deposited money, well, all you have to do is click withdraw. But this time, we are going to withdraw to a MetaMask wallet. Now, a MetaMask is what is called a EVM compatible wallet. That just means that it's compatible with most of the other networks out there. Now, there are many different networks out there. For example, Polygon, Matic, or BNB, right? These are just some examples of different networks that are available on MetaMask. Now, for you to get access to them, all you have to do is download MetaMask. This is an app on your phone, or it can be a Chrome extension. Now, just like the way where if you have a Bitcoin wallet, you have to make sure that you keep your seed phrases available, MetaMask is exactly the same. When you log into MetaMask, you are given a secret phrase. Now that phrase, my friend, do not share with a soul. Don't share it with your parents, don't share it with a neighbor, don't share it with your girlfriend, don't share it with anybody. Your seed phrase is your responsibility, and that phrase alone gives you access, not your password. It is the seed phrase which gives you direct access to your bank account. And that is one of the reasons why you see so many people lose a ton of money, because they invest into one of these small market cap coins. They forget about it for 5 years, and all of a sudden that small coin that they invested in was worth a lot of money, but they forgot their seed phrase, so they do not have access to it at all. Now, your seed phrase, I recommend saving that on a metal seed phrase thing. I forgot what they even call it, but you can see that in the description. I'll put a picture here. What it allows you to do is save your seed phrase on a metal plate, and you can keep that, maybe store it in a safe to deposit box or store it in a safe place. I recommend having multiple wallets. It might be a bit unorganized at first, but trust me, if you have 2 or 3 different MetaMask wallets, your money is more secure, it's more spread out, and you hold less risk. Like, imagine having all your money on one thing, you lose it, you've lost all your money, right? But if you have it spread out, you lose one, yeah, it's an L, but you're still in the game and you can make that back, right? That's the way I see it. Other people do it different ways, and you can also get what is called a ledger. Now, ledgers have been under scrutiny recently with reporting information to tax. So I'm not too clued up in that area, and right now I'm not going to go into it. But remember, there are things called cold wallets. MetaMask is technically a hot wallet. So I recommend doing your own research at your own time and looking up what is the best cold wallet of that time. In fact, maybe I'll even make a video on it. But your hot wallet is going to be your MetaMask, right? Your centralized exchanges are going to be, your BitGet, your KuCoin, your Bybit, your Binance, etc. And I recommend having multiple exchanges. Just like you have multiple wallets, you need multiple exchanges, because, for example, a token like Myria, it isn't available on Binance yet or Bybit yet. Hopefully it is soon, but it is available on KuCoin. So if you didn't have a KuCoin, you wouldn't have access to Myria, right? And that's how I see it. I want to have at least these exchanges ready. I might not have deposited into all of them, but I have them ready so I'm available to get access to some of these tokens, right? Now, all you have to do is withdraw your Ethereum from your centralized exchange to your hot wallet known as MetaMask. And the way you do that is simple. You click withdraw from your exchange and you withdraw that straight over to your wallet address, which is the long code that you have at the top of your MetaMask, and you send that directly to your wallet. Sometimes you will have to add a custom token if it's not recognized by MetaMask, but Ethereum is recognized by every MetaMask. So once you send it, you'll see it load up and it will say the amount of money that you have withdrawn. Then you can actually swap your Ethereum on a decentralized exchange. Now, the decentralized exchange that I like to use the most is Uniswap. This is a exchange where you can exchange pretty much any token. Now, the way you find out how or what tokens you can exchange is simply by going to CoinMarketCap again. For this sake, we'll go back to the Myriad token, which we found earlier. We'll go down to markets. And as you can see, remember that Ethereum logo we've seen before? Right next to the Myriad with the same name as we've seen, Uniswap. You can click that link and it will open up a page which will show you the active price that Myriad is trading out on this decentralized exchange. And at the bottom, it will show you the contract address. It's going to be a long code that will look similar to your wallet address, but this is the address of the actual token, right? So this is like Myriad's decentralized code. Now remember this, it's very, very important, right? This is a address to use for a decentralized exchange. It is not the address where you just send money to. There were so many times, especially early in the crypto market, where people will send money just to the contract address and then they'll be sat there scratching their head like, where's the money gone? And they won't be able to get it back. And that's because they have sent money to a contract address. It's a very common mistake that is made and not a lot of people talk about it, but don't send money to that address. What you do is you copy that, you go to Uniswap, and I'll leave the link for Uniswap in the description as well. And when you go to Uniswap, all you have to do is connect your wallet in the top corner, put in your password, and you will see the available balance of your Ethereum, and it will say, pick a token. When you click that pick a token, paste the contract address in, you'll see Myriad load in, and then all you have to do is swap the Ethereum for the Myriad token. Now, why would you even do this, right? Why would you swap, let's say, your centralized exchange, Ethereum, to go all the way to a decentralized exchange? Well, remember what I mentioned. It's kind of like the startup space back in the day, whereas in the website time, you would have loads of websites launch. Some would do really well, some wouldn't. Most of them don't even last 5 years and most of them fail. But during that time, multiple, sometimes thousands of millionaires are made. Well, do you want to be one of those 1,000 millionaires? Do you want to get access to some of those investments? That's why people use it, right? For example, Myriad Games in the past 30 days alone is up over 200%. And I believe over the next few months, it's probably going to do a 10x, right? So compared to Ethereum, which might only do a 3x or a 5x over, the next year, for example. So swapping my Ethereum to Myriad Games, and then maybe even swapping it back in the future, is a good investment because it allows me to get more exposure in that side compared to the other side, right? Now you have to make your own decision on which decentralized coins you want to choose. You want to do due diligence on those tokens. You want to do all the things, right? You don't want to take random advice from people on YouTube because this, my friend, is not financial advice. So now you should have an in-depth understanding of how to swap your money over to crypto, what crypto even is, how to use a centralized exchange, how to even use a decentralized exchange, and why people even do so in the first place. You also understand the risks of investing into these different currencies, the risks of having your responsibility all for your own assets, but also the benefits in the space. Now I'm going to discuss how the hell and when to cash out. Because getting involved is all great, right? It's all these shiny objects like, yeah, get going, whatever. But what about cashing out? What about making this internet money into real money? Now, I don't think a lot of people speak about this. Cashing out is one of the most important things to understand in the crypto space. Most of the time, like the Dogecoin millionaire, you will probably fall in love with the bag and you will be holding this bag all the way down 90%, probably to zero. And then you'll be one of those guys which is like, yeah, I made loads of money in the crypto space. I've been in this space for 5 years, but you still live with your mom. That is not the type of person that you want to become. You want to be the guy who cashes out, right? Who makes the most from these investments. And my personal strategy is as follows, right? I like to have a diversified portfolio from cash to crypto to different businesses as well and real world assets. And how I do it is simple. Early in the market, it works in cycles. And there are 4 phases to this cycle. There is the BTC halving, which I haven't gone into too much detail because this is the basic tutorial. But there's a BTC halving. There is 1 year before BTC halving, which is where we are now. And then there is 2 years before BTC halving, which is where we just was. Then there is a year after BTC halving, which is 2024 around. And there is 2 years after, which is about late 2025. Now, historically, throughout the history of Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin 2 years before BTC halving has always been the best time to buy Bitcoin. It's always been near enough the lows. Even with the vid collapse, that didn't even match the lows that was set for Bitcoin if you bought 2 years before the BTC halving. And same for the recent one. The lows that we had in and around $15,000 was not as low as what we will see going into BTC halving because there's only a few months left. So maybe that was the lowest for the cycle. And you probably missed it. But there is some good news because now we are a year before BTC halving. And this has historically been the best time for altcoins. If you have a look, there are coins like Rune and Elrond, which are doing multiples of X's. I think some of them is even like 3 to 5 times the lows that was set. Now, the best time to have bought them was earlier this year. But there were also tons of other tokens out there to have a look at, which the lows are still in. And over the next year, we'll probably do multiples of X's too. Last cycle, we've seen tokens do 10, 20, 30, some of them even over 100x in valuation. Now, as we go into the years after BTC halving, this has historically been the highest valuations for crypto as a whole. It's when things start to get a little bit crazy, kind of like the internet boom. Again, overvaluated companies, people just throwing money at it without doing no research, and what happens is it all explodes and collapses. So what I like to do is between the first and the second year is exit crypto as much as possible. And the way I do so is we take the money from the decentralized exchanges, right? Let's say Uniswap. Let's say we bought Myriad Games and now it's been, 2 years and it's done a 10x. I put 10 grand in, 2 years later, everything works out fine and I've got $100,000. Right now, I take that 100,000, I put it in a centralized exchange, any of them of the choice. Currently, as we said, Myriad Games is available on KuCoin, for example. So we take the Myriad, we exchange it on Uniswap, or we can send it to KuCoin and then we can sell it on KuCoin, right? Now, once it is sold and swapped back to USDT, all you do is you sell that USDT for the local currency. The same way that you bought the token is the same way that you sell. Right, so the same way that you buy it, you swap your pounds to USDT, for example, is the same way that you sell. You sell your USDT for your pounds, and then you have the pounds on the exchange. All you do after that is you click withdraw, and you can withdraw that to whatever account which you signed up for. So cashing in is simple. The actual process of cashing out is also simple. But what is going to stop you is the mentality, and the mentality is the number one thing which stops people from making money. And the reason why is because they don't have a plan. Now, if you are smart, you should have written down that plan which I just discussed. 2 years before BTC halving, 1 year before BTC halving, 1 year after, 2 years after, right? We are currently, as of recording this, 1 year before BTC halving. So this is not the sell stage, panic stage, whatever. For me, this is the buy stage, right? This is where I'm like, buy, everything in, eat noodles, buy, everything in, right? Living wherever I live, you guys already know, and sip coconuts, right? Be humble, right? Be frugal with my living and be abundant with my investments, okay? Now, the year after and year after that, that's when I'm selling, right? That's when I'm getting out. That's when I'm, making flips and looking to exit the market because all the valuations will start to get too high, okay? Whether that's a year or 2 years after, okay? Whereas most people, it's the opposite. Most people, unlike you, it is getting crypto late, FOMO into investments, buy whatever some person says later on. But at the start, they don't want to do it. They're not ready to go. For the first 2 years before BTC halving, most of the time, normal retail investors don't start. They don't do nothing, right? It's only the 2 years after where they start. And that's why most people get wrecked, okay? That's why having a plan, being disciplined and following that plan, regardless of what anybody else says, is super important. Okay, so now guys, you should have a basic understanding of how to buy crypto, what crypto is, the different crypto coins out there, the difference between centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, the best ones to use for your country, and how to use decentralized exchanges. You also understand how to cash in, and you also understand how to cash out, and you have a plan for the markets. Now I've taken the liberty of creating a cheat sheet with all the best exchanges and all the best locations, some of the best coins that I'm looking at, and some of the links for you as well, so they are safe to use. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be dropping some of the best tokens every single month. I'll also be dropping different ways of making money, different ways of investing, as much as I can, and hopefully you enjoyed this channel. Stick around because it's the bull market and there's going to be some crazy gains, and I hope every single one of you are successful. Thank you very much guys, and I'll see you in the next one.